Okay, so I'm talking to my phone, and this is a very somber moment. I'm going to try and be funny, but I want to send a strong message out there that this is being inspired by that poor young comedian who was only 22, whose life was taken by someone who apparently had a mental disability, autism spectrum. Done some research on it, and which says that they do display sensory sensitivity, and including avoiding everyday sounds and textures such as hair dryers and vacuum cleaners and probably vibrators. I don't know. I'm trying to make this funny, but it's kind of a somber thing as well. But the thing is, like, it also says that they show these things and they're repetitive, and people are monitored on this because they have this thing called the autism spectrum. So there's a lot of people that are out there that are smart, especially, and the parents, not saying the parents are wrong, but and the parents, and they can see that when their child is not being normal because their autism's fucking disability, if you will, still doesn't give away, still doesn't justify the fact that this young 19-year-old man took a life of a young woman who, by reading some of her comedy, had the similar thoughts that I did when Michael Jackson died. Like what she did in the last comedy with about David Bowie, everyone at work where I worked at the time were very shocked and like, oh my God, it's Michael Jackson, and they were going, why aren't you upset? I said, well, did you know him? Was he a friend of yours? Did he come to your 18th, 19th, 21st? Of course not, because you were too old. And they were like just blown away that I had no emotional connection to his death. I did not know the man or the child in the man. I did not know him, even though he did try to look like me. Even though I shot this in black and white, he did become whiter than me, and that is a pretty good, I must admit, that is a pretty amazing thing, because I do look quite white, especially after a big night out. I am white and with dark greens, and he didn't have dark greens, probably because of the bleaching. Maybe I should do that then, hey, bleach the eyes so I don't look like I'm fucked up. But anyway, I'm swearing, but that's because I feel pretty passionate about this. Females should not live in fear. I mean, for centuries, thousands of years, they've been prosecuted. They've been the second citizen, and that's got to stop. Gays, bis, transgender, they're all being accepted into society now. Why can't we give women the same level of acceptance? I'm sure we marry them. There was nothing against that, but there is a law in England where a gentleman about 6 years ago got away with this. It's called the rule of thumb. Now, this is a law from the 1500s where you're allowed to beat your wife with a cane as long as it's not thicker than your thumb. And he beat his wife, but he got away with it because he beat her with a piece of cane that was not thicker than his thumb. And because that law has not changed, he got away with it. Not cool. I don't believe in violence against women in any shape or form, being whether it be sexual, psychological, or physical. I personally have been bashed by a fiance I had at the time. I didn't hit her. I just let her punch the shit out of me. She got out of it because, I've got a big head, big bones and all that sort of stuff, comes from being raised in New Zealand. You go after a sheep, kicks you in the face. What do? You don't cry about it. You don't go and tell anyone about it because, that's a bit embarrassing. You just get on with your job, and people say, what happened to you? Oh, I jumped over a fence, my gumboot got caught in the barbed wire and I fell down, and I landed in the trough and didn't quite land in the trough, landed on the edge of the trough, and they go, looks like a hoof mark. Yeah, that's because I landed on the edge of the trough. At the end of the trough, it's got those marks like a hoof, and people bought that. I personally have come to this country, Australia, to get away from being prosecuted for parrot pleasure, and I didn't come here to see this sort of thing going on with our females. I mean, use a different thing. They talk to you in a different language. One stomp of hoof was 2 stomps of hoof means no. The 4 stomps when they're running away from you means catch them if you can. And if you can, then you're the man, especially in governments on a wet day when it's all muddy, or wet morning, dark, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, when they're kind of sleeping, but they're kind of like one eye open. They're kind of like whales. Whales sleep with half their brain asleep and half the body's asleep, and the rest of it's kind of like aware of what's going on. Ewes are very similar to that. You try to approach them in the slug, and they'll go, oh yeah, woof, gone. That's why the All Blacks are fit. That's why most Kiwis are fit. It's not because we're sporty, it's because we like to catch things in the paddock. And we learned that if we want to catch things in the paddock, we've got to be fit. And the gumboots, when you take them off and you put on the fucking rugby boots and all the soccer boots or whatever boots, basketball, soccer, netball, whatever, makes you more faster. Anyway, it's enough of that stuff about the paddock. I'll come over here to forget all that sort of stuff. Thought I'd try kangaroos, but the kangaroos aren't as abundant in the suburbia as they sheep are in New Zealand, and it's a lot further and a lot harder to get to kangaroos than it is to get to sheep in New Zealand, because New Zealand's small, Australia's not. No, it's fucking huge. To go and see a kangaroo, if you want, you've got to catch a bus to them. There's a lot of witnesses if you catch a bus, and I don't have a car. It's one of the conditions for me coming to Australia. I'm not allowed to drive because I can access too many places where I can't be seen. I've got to be in places where people can see me, and that's a good thing in a way, and sometimes it's not, because it's actually frustrating, but thank God for those blow up views. Don't judge me. It's just like, it's an outlet, and I know my outlet, and I know I take it out on the plastic with a pump. But in all seriousness, this stuff's got to stop. People cannot, guys, you've got to stop. Treat them as they're better than us. I mean, they can handle pain more. They look better naked than us. Man, a lot more of us masturbate over them than they do us. Sure, girls watch porn, but predominantly it's us. That's why, and that's the main reason why the internet has kicked off, because we just like to get our little Charlie and give it. Mine's called Timmy too. We're a duo. We perform together. We're not separate. We don't do parties. We don't do children's parties or bar mitzvahs or anything like that anymore. Those sort of things aren't allowed here in Australia. They've got laws on that apparently. Yeah, but I haven't found anywhere that does have a law on that. So that was a joke, by the way. I don't do that. No, not anymore. No, that's just a joke. But what I'm trying to get across is that this shit's got to stop. It's no good.